All right, what's up, y'all? It's Dr. Paul, another installment, another episode of the Clean and Press for Journey into Mystery Annual #1. First appearance of Hercules, first appearance of Zeus. I'm going to clean the back cover today. Mostly, we're just doing dry cleaning. We're just going to be using mostly this tool right here, Pentel Elite Pentel Click Eraser. Cut at an angle, maybe a few other tools, brush, we'll see. I'm going to go on quiet mode because I'm going to do some time lapse. Not actually time lapse, I'm actually going to record it all in real time, and then I'm just going to speed it up in editing. That gives a little bit smoother video where you can see, I think, a lot better what I'm doing than time-lapse. Time-lapse doesn't really, because it jumps around, doesn't really give you as good a sense of exactly what I'm doing. So we'll record this in real time, and then we'll upload it, I think, at probably 8x speed. All right, so enjoy video. Okay, that looks pretty good. You see that I used a kneadable eraser. This is less harsh than this on color, so it's pretty safe to use on color gently. It will lift a little bit of color, and I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but there's a little bit of yellow in here. It will pull a little bit, but it pulls such a small amount, it's almost like when you buff your car paint. You take the very just top layer off that is oxidized and dull, and it takes such a small amount that it actually can make the colors brighter, even though it's technically removed some of the ink. So it's pretty safe to use in that regard, and I use it on colors as my sort of preferred first go on colors. Now what I'm doing is buffing this cover out a little bit. You saw that we lost some chips up here, and we created a little bit of a tear as well, because this paper is very brittle. It's brittle here too, so I'm going to be very careful with that area. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of buff this out. You want to do this because you're going to get some amount of deglossing with the eraser. You're going to get some amount of residue with this kneadable eraser. So by buffing with a cotton round gently, you can normalize both of those and return like a nice gloss, like a lustrous gloss to the cover when you're done. You can see I'm just going to completely avoid these edges with this cotton round, because while it's odd, the paper in the middle is quite healthy. That paper up on both edges is not, so I'm just going to completely avoid it. All right. So there's the cleaning of, and that didn't remove much. This is a little eraser crumb. That didn't remove much because there wasn't much on there. So the purpose of that wasn't to clean so much as it was to buff, right? And so at any rate, I think this book now is pretty much clean. This actually looks like a really light, possibly a pen mark, but I don't want to try to remove that. It's in the area where the paper's already kind of brittle. So I'm not going to deal with that at all. We still have this issue here of potentially gluing this down, and I haven't made a final decision on that yet. But the front looks quite nice. I think that this book is approximately a 5. And I'd be comfortable with calling it a 5 if I were representing it to sell, or I was talking to a client about it. I think we'll probably do something here, because I think it's just going to present better, and it's going to be better because the spine won't continue to split if we secure that. And we can use, like I mentioned before, methods that are Blue Label friendly. So we'll do that in another installment. And I hope you enjoyed this little cleaning session and episode 3, I think. And I hope you enjoy the hunt. I hope you take care of one another.